the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
And coming up in the news at noon, Prince William County police officer injured after a car chase and a shooting. Well, the latest in the investigation. And later, a new law on legal marijuana is coming to Maryland. What you need to know about the new law and how it could impact your workplace.
And with summer officially underway over the last couple of days, it's gotten a little more humid out there. Tropical downpours could be a possibility this afternoon. And we'll talk about maybe the potential of some flooding for certain areas. Stick around. My Futurecast is coming up.
All right, Scott, thank you. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for the news at noon. I'm Mark Hall. A teenager in Prince William County is facing attempted murder charges after police say that he deliberately hit an officer with a car. That officer is recovering in the hospital after suffering serious injuries. There are a lot of unanswered questions, and DC News Now's Lex Juarez has the latest.
Well, let me show you where it happened. The officer was walking up to a parked car, and the driver, our suspect, sped off, turned the car around in the cul-de-sac, and then drove right at the officer. Now, he hit the officer, knocking him back into the street here, and then lost control of the car, flipping it and hitting this car right here. Right after that, the suspect got out of the car and ran away.
Cops everywhere. All I thought was, wow, something big must be going on.
This is what Oust Lane looked like right after the hit and run. Neighbors rushed outside to see what was going on.
And I just heard a bang outside, and I looked out my window, and there was a car flipped over on its side, and I at first thought it was an accident, came out, and then next thing you know, there was a bunch of cops and somebody running down the street.
That person, 18-year-old Valmiki Chandler, had been running from police for about an hour after allegedly stealing a car at a 7-Eleven just 5 miles away. An officer spotted the stolen car and was walking up to it when Chandler hit the gas, turned the car around, and then drove into the officer, sending him to the hospital with a serious head injury.
I viewed the body-worn camera footage that the officer was wearing last night. He was definitely one targeted and definitely struck at a high rate of speed and forcibly knocked back.
The officer did try to stop the car by shooting at it, but was unsuccessful. Chandler ran away from the scene and was taken into custody over 2 hours later, found by undercover officers a few miles away.
More than likely had probably tried to hunker down a little bit until he thought the coast was clear.
Well, the officer who was hit is expected to make a full recovery as far as that body-worn camera footage. It'll be up to Police Chief Newsham on whether or not it's released. In Dale City, I'm Lex Juarez, DC News Now.
Thank you. Well, Chandler's charged with attempted murder of a law enforcement officer, aggravated malicious wounding, felony hit and run, and several other traffic-related charges. Let's take a live look outside. I think we are looking at the National Cathedral. Oh, my goodness, lots of clouds out there, and don't think that we're going to see the sun today. Let's head over to meteorologist Scott Sumner, who's in for Damon Matson this afternoon with the check on the forecast. And Scott, we're not going to see the sun today, right?
Well, actually, believe it or not, some places will. We saw half the cathedral there, Mark. And yes, places west of the district, as you can see, 73 degrees. There is some drizzle out there. And from the I-95 corridor and points east, that's where we'll probably see the greatest concentration of rain pretty much throughout the day, keeping any sort of sunshine pretty much hidden. But places west, say in the Shenandoah Valley, could have some rays of sunshine out your way this afternoon. Visibility is a little bit low too. Obviously, where you see the gray, we're talking about a ½ mile visibility. Martinsburg, Hagerstown, 2 miles visibility along with Leesburg. And from Leesburg into the district, again, visibility is down between 5 and 2 miles. So yeah, take it easy out there, obviously, especially if you come across some heavier downpours. Dew points are really picked up. When I spoke with you at this time Wednesday, these numbers were much lower, and now the tropical feel has come back across much of the area from Baltimore to Annapolis to Waldorf into Lexington Park. These are very soupy numbers out there, very typical of summer type weather. And of course with that, we have those tropical downpours potentially speaking with even a little bit of lightning embedded within a couple of them. All of this will continue to move across the district right here from Silver Spring and Washington, Alexandria, Cheverly. Over the next hour or so, and a little wider perspective here shows again, where is that moisture right now? Here's the I-95 corridor. This is where the showers are pretty much. We'll talk more in depth about the 7-day forecast and what to expect for the weekend coming up.
All right, Scott, thank you. And Prince William County Police are investigating a deadly shooting inside of a home on Fort Monroe Court in Dumfries. 2 people were shot. We don't know their condition, and police are now looking for the suspect who left the scene. We'll continue to follow this story both on air and online at dcnewsnow.com. Well, new details after a days-long trial. Longtime Loudoun County school spokesperson Wade Byard is found not guilty of lying to a grand jury. Byard had been accused of perjury in a high-profile investigation into 2 school sexual assaults. The jury only took 2 hours to deliberate before acquitting Byard. Byard spoke to reporters after the not guilty verdict. He says that LCPS is still his work family, and he does not feel like he was a victim of the investigation.
This is something that I've done for years, to be a spokesman, to be out front, to learn how to take the heat, things like this. And I felt that I was equipped to do it. So I wouldn't say scapegoat, surrogate maybe, stand in, but no, I didn't feel like I was a fall guy. I didn't feel like I was a victim.
Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin made the assaults a major part of his gubernatorial bid and issued an executive order requesting the investigation on his first day in office. And we reached out to the governor's office for comment. So far, we haven't heard. Well, a disturbing act of bigotry that has some neighbors describing what's happened in D.C.'s Petworth neighborhood this month as repulsive, and it was caught on video, stealing and then burning a pride flag outside of a Georgia Avenue home. Our Mario Carbone has the story.
All right, there it is.
For Jason Ramsey, this act, hanging a pride flag outside his Petworth home, is more than just a simple gesture. It's a statement.
This sort of thing is just not acceptable.
Earlier this month, Ramsey's flag was vandalized, and it was all caught on video. First, you see the person walk up and take the flag. Then this. The flag is set on fire. A neighbor running out to douse the flames with water.
You know, to have something happen like this that seems, again, so targeted and so informed by bigotry and hate in a way that I'm very not familiar with here, it just blows my mind, honestly.
Ramsey, who says he identifies with and is a strong advocate for the queer community, hung a second flag. That too was stolen this week.
And it just, outraged me, honestly.
According to data from the Metropolitan Police Department, there have been 13 bias-related hate crimes over sexual orientation through May of this year.
Crimes like this are not insignificant. They obviously represent a direct threat and attack.
Ryan Boss with the Capital Pride Alliance says crimes like this should be reported to police. Plus,
we need to be out, be visible, be supportive 365 days a year.
A message Ramsey is sending loud and clear with purchase number 3.
That we won't stand for this kind of bigotry. We won't stand for abuse of people that we love.
Reporting for DC News Now, I'm Marielle Carbone.
Marielle, thank you. Well, a study that raises questions about whether some people can really afford to live in Maryland. People who are ALICE, or assisted, asset limited income constrained employed, earn more than the federal poverty level, but not enough to afford the basics where they live. In Maryland, 10% of households earned below the federal poverty line in 2021, but 28% of households were considered ALICE, not below the federal poverty level, but still not able to afford cost of living demands in the state. Well, the study found that the bare minimum someone must make in order to live in any county in Maryland, for example, would be around $51,000, and a person living on their own needs to make at least, again, $51,000. And you can test your location and family situation yourself on the UnitedForAlice.org website. Well, the big change to marijuana laws in Maryland starts in about a week. And starting next month, anyone 21 or older will be able to purchase cannabis from dispensaries. Artosin Fakili has the do's and don'ts of the law as the date of the change inches closer.
July 1st, 1 week and a day. That's when it'll become legal for people 21 and older in Maryland to use and have a certain amount of cannabis. And if you remember, this is possible because the question was on the ballot in November last year, and Maryland voters voted to legalize recreational cannabis. Now, legislation passed the Maryland General Assembly this year, renaming the Alcohol and Tobacco Commission the Alcohol, Tobacco, and Cannabis Commission. It also created the Maryland Cannabis Administration as part of the state government. So starting July 1st, if you are 21 and older, you'll no longer need a medical marijuana card to buy cannabis from a dispensary in Maryland. Here's some other things you're going to need to know. If you're 21 and over in Maryland, you can have up to 1.5 ounces of cannabis or up to 12 grams of concentrated cannabis. They'll also be able to legally have cannabis products with up to 750 milligrams of Delta-9 THC. They'll also be able to grow up to 2 cannabis plants. And if you're 21 and older, you will have to pay that 9% sales tax for the adult use purchase of cannabis. Now, the new legislation also makes changes to penalties regarding cannabis. It lowers the fine for smoking cannabis in public from $250 to $50 on the first offense and from $500 to $150 on the second offense. It also prevents police from stopping someone or searching them only because of, quote, cannabis-related evidence. That includes the smell of marijuana. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks to Toast. Now, if you love art and history, an exhibit opening at the Washington County Museum of Fine Arts in Hagerstown is something that you won't want to miss. The collection is a treasure from the Maryland State Archives dating back 300 years. Well, it includes scenic American and European paintings and portraits, documents, and rare sculptures. Artifacts dating back to 1649, just 15 years after settlers colonized in St. Mary's, Maryland. It's all part of this special exhibit.
There's something for everyone. So if you love lush landscape paintings or marine paintings, you'll see those and you can appreciate those just for that. If you're a history geek, you're going to understand the story of the founding of the state and the way artists helped tell that story.
And you'll have plenty of time to check out the exhibit. It runs through October.